Hello guys and welcome back to TSBEC TV. Nisse has finally returned from the land of the... I don't know what they do in that land, but in that place. And that should of course be celebrated with some off-roading, and the original plan was to go and get Nisse's 90 V8 out and go and do some awesome off-roading with that, because I'm sure you would all like to see that. However, it can't start, so we have to find another one of the many Land Rovers that can start. And of course we want to go with a V8, so we have the 101 behind us, which we will try and get started. And if that doesn't work, there's about 10 other Land Rovers behind the camera, and we will take one of those out. So you think we can get it started?
I think we can get it started. We did a good job last time, and it won't be a problem. We'll start straight up.
Of course. It does look like it's been buried underground since we last drove it, but let's give it a go.
Battery. Keep the lights work. I think it is this one, isn't it? Yeah. Jingles. You might need a tiny bit of help. Not even surprised. So we got close to no brakes. Got a tiny bit of brakes, but not much. We got fluids in it, cooling fluids, but we need some more. And we're just going to pull the dipstick and have a look at that as well and see how much we need. But definitely have to figure out the brakes before we drive, just to make sure we got brakes. Right now we're just waiting for the water temperature to start moving. Right now we've got the oil temperature moving. We also got how much fuel we're going at. We might have to put another 20 litres in it just to be sure. Other than that, just waiting for it to warm up, and then we're going to go in and adjust the idle a bit. It's a bit high in idle right now. I think it might be the choke that's been stuck open because of all the rust in the cables. But otherwise than that, it runs. Maybe have a quick look at the brakes as well, but they've become a bit more firm now. Can't actually hit the bottom with it, so we might just have to go with that. Oh yeah, but we already got our handbrake. Really trusty handbrake here. Just works.
So while we wait for Nisse to get the 101 ready to go out and drive, I thought I'd just give you a quick teaser of what else is in this barn, because this is what I was talking about behind the camera. Obviously we've got the other 101, which you're familiar with. It's been on the channel before. The red Series 3 88-inch. Got an old Massey Ferguson tractor over there. It's kind of a staple of any old farm, I think. And then if we go, we've got another line at the back here, Project Bob, who has not been on the channel for such a long time, and hopefully we'll get him back out this summer. But that was always a project we never quite knew where we were going with, I think. But just a monster to drive this thing. It's obviously the 3.5 litre V8, just like the 101 as well, except this one is supercharged, but a very kind of makeshift homemade setup for those of you that remember this. Yes, seat held in with a strap, and not much else to it other than a steering wheel, to be honest, but it's very, very loud, if you didn't already know that. And then we've got the Creeper, soon to be rebuilt with the RB25 engine. As you can see, it's already kind of missing a few bits there, and a Series 2 long wheelbase single cab, and a lightweight in the back corner as well, which has also been on the channel. But for sure I think we need to get some more of these out to play at some point during the summer while the weather is good. Let's head back out and see what Nisse is up to.
I was sitting down the island, it was the throttle that was stuck. I also might have located why the center differential isn't working, because the pipe is broken right there. You can actually feel the vacuum coming from it. And I'm pretty sure that goes directly up to the central differential valve, where on these type of gearbox, LT95, it's a vacuum operated. So when you pull it up, you create vacuum that then turns the handle down on the gearbox. So fix that. I'm pretty sure the sensor differential will work, but we're not going to use that today, hopefully. And also the starter really needs to fix that at some point. Right, brake test. Wow, we're just blocking the rear brakes. That'll be good enough. So as you may have noticed on our Instagram story, I've taken my Discovery completely apart, the TIE Fighter, and that is because, well, firstly I broke the stud, like the thread for the oil pressure sensor. That broke, so I have to get a new housing. And to get to that you need to take the exhaust manifold out. When I went to take the exhaust manifold out, so that's a stud that was broken. So I took the exhaust manifold and got that made all up, and then I took my inlet manifold off as well, because I was leaking down the side. And having a look inside of it, I blanked off the EGR for about, pretty much just when I got it, I blanked it off, but still they have gone about 210, 220 kilometers with the EGR on, and that just completely soaked the inside of the inlet manifold in a carbon deposit and oil residue. The oil residue is quite normal, as long as it's a fair amount, but the like burnt charcoal-like stuff that's inside, like tar, is not supposed to be there, so that's gonna get all washed out now. Go down there and take that path that goes into the woods and then straight to the right, then we should go down to the beach. Got a nice little track there.
So the plan is to go to the beach,
Right
which you can hopefully see on that camera above us. And awesome.
I think it's so light.
Smooth as silk.
I think it's so light it's skipping the rear tires. Like the diff is locking up, then it's easier for it to push it up. So it's like jumping instead.
We've accidentally created the 101 Sport. That's what we've done. And we had loads of comments last time we went off-roading of people saying, why didn't we use the diff lock, and we didn't know what we were doing and so on. The diff lock doesn't work, to be clear, so we cannot use it. So we have to just rely on the other things which half work.
Yeah, that pedal, and that pedal.
Exactly.
I don't think this is so deep.
No, it's not deep. Famous last words?
Like this part here always reminds me of Jurassic Park or something, with all those leaves.
Yeah. It's just not so many dinosaurs, but you know, otherwise it's exactly the same.
No dinosaurs, luckily.
You know, actually what this always reminds me of is one of the first videos we ever did with our two ATVs, and we came down here and I was standing up on the hillside filming you driving past. I remember that. Back in the winter.
Yeah.
In like 2011. But I think it's also worth mentioning that we haven't driven this for 2 years. All the videos we did when we kind of revived it, brought out the barn, fixed it up and got it going again, and then did a series on it. That was 2018. Obviously it's now 2020. And we didn't use it at all last year. I mean, it might have been moved around between barns or something.
Between barns.
But it wasn't actually driven properly. And we went in there, turned the key and it started. And then we just topped up fluids and things, you know, and made some adjustments, which took 10 minutes. But at the end of the day, it just started at the turn of the key. You know, like how old is it? 40 years old or something? I don't know. No, more than that now. Almost 50 probably. Yeah. So it's
like, you know, in the 70s, I think.
Yeah, it was 77, 76, something like that.
I think
no, 75. 75, that was it, I think. So it's a 45-year-old vehicle. Man, and it hasn't been driven for 2 years, and it just started right up. The beach.
So there's no people walking by here. It's like,
hello. So if it wasn't rusty before, it's going to be rusty now. No, we'll wash it. Yeah. Don't worry. Inevitably there'll be someone who thinks that we are just committing Land Rover suicide now by driving through salt water. We might hit a snag in our plan here.
Oh, yeah.
Rocks.
go rock crawling.
Are we
We go wading a bit. Because we need to go past that tree out there to get in.
Okay. Cool.
I think we can go past these ones maybe and then go in again for that.
Yeah, we can, but it's just a matter.
It's going to be a bit.
You know, I did say, you remember the video I did last year, my kind of review of the 101? I did say it is more like piloting a ship than it is driving a vehicle, like driving a land vehicle. So there we go.
Now we are piloting a vessel.
We are in fact manning a ship now. So from now on, you shall be known as Captain Nisse.
Insert epic pirate music.
Insert that music.
The good thing is we've got pretty good service here with all the rocks. It's like no sand, like
it's not
big rocks.
It's not soft, definitely.
No,
it's just holy shit. Seriously. This is one way to kick off T-Spec TV for the summer. Or you can feel I think like all this algae and seaweed on the rocks is really like slippery. You can feel it's really like just
like going like
sliding around on the rocks. It's not kind of it's just moving side to side as we go forward at the same time.
That low gear and low end torque is really good. Like first gear, not even hitting the throttle yet. Got land again.
Land ahoy!
Let's just see if we can get up that. This is a tiny bit of, maybe a bit steep hill we need to go up. Probably need to get up that. I think without diff like it's gonna be very hard.
So driving the 101 through the fjord was not a video we expected to be making today, was it? But we just circled back round through the woods and down to this area of the beach again, because something that's quite funny to reflect on is that we came here when we hit, or to celebrate hitting 250 subscribers total on the channel back in 2015, I think it was. And Nisse, tell people what we did when we hit 250 to celebrate.
We were sitting in the room thinking very hard about what we should do. So we then went down to the beach and found loads of small rocks and pebbles, and we spelled out 250 on the beach and took a picture of it with our cars, I think also.
Yeah, parked in the water. It was like similar tied to this, and they were just parked in the water and we had 250 written in the ground. Seems like we've come a long way since then, and didn't think we'd be here driving a 101 through the water this much later, or even with 15,000 subscribers. So I think that would take a little bit longer to write out 15,000. But it's just, the point is, it was just so funny to think about how excited we were about 250 subscribers, and that we came down here and tried to make some funny picture, because we didn't know what to do back then, because we were at a way more basic level. So yeah. But anyway, let's jump back in the 101 and go and see if we can find more mud. We also spoke about, when we kind of revived it a couple of years ago, about the idea of getting it made road legal, or putting on license plates.
The MOT, getting that done onto it.
How much work do you think we need to do to get it to that point now?
I think if we do like the handbrake, the central differential and so on, I think actually already there we're pretty close to it. Of course I don't know about the electrics, what they're like. Yeah. I think all the lights work onto it.
I think all the lights did work when we tried it.
So then it might just be the steering and the valve for the braking, so just lock up the wheels.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think it's like, I would say, like rust-wise, it would be a problem. Or maybe it's already a couple of mechanical problems that need to take care of. So it wouldn't take that long to do, I don't think.
But you wouldn't be able to register it as a car per se, would you? I mean, isn't it technically a truck?
Yeah, it might be a truck, but if you get on like veteran plates, you can drive it in the summer, it would be maybe registered as a truck. Actually, I don't know if it would. I think it's more weight-wise, not where you are situated compared to the axles. That defines if it's a car or a truck.
But there are other 101s registered in Denmark, so it would be possible. I mean, it's not like it hasn't been done before.
No.
So
Yeah, there are a couple of Danish 101s registered, so it shouldn't be a problem. You just like take a picture, like say this guy also got exact same car as me. I want to get registered, because I'm pretty sure we still got like the original papers for the registration and all that.
Yeah.
From England, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's still wearing the English number plates.
Yeah.
For those of you that haven't watched the previous videos we did on this a couple years back, which I recommend you do, but if you haven't, the story behind this is that it came from the UK and it was basically bought for spares. No, it was the winch.
The winch,
because it had the really kind of rare 101 winch on it, which your dad wanted.
Yeah.
So he bought this, drove it over here, and then took the winch off, and then it basically sat in the barn for what, 15, 20 years or something.
Yeah, just towed around with a tractor whenever it needs moving from barn to barn.
And then a couple of years ago in the summer, we decided to make it a project to try and get it up and running again. And it turned out to be a lot easier than we thought.
Yeah.
Like, we thought it was going to be a big job, but actually after a day of kind of cleaning it up and fiddling it got running, and then since then, obviously, as you can see, it's been fine. So then we started talking about the possibility of getting it registered for the road, because driving something like this out on the road would be so cool, and we would just use it in the summer.
Yeah.
So, but it'd be a really cool workshop truck as well.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you have infinite space in the back.
Just like need to go get a gearbox and engine, just
exactly.
in the back.
No trailer or nothing. You just throw it in the back.
Like 2 drivetrains in the back, no problem.
You can do donuts in a 101. Confirm. You're welcome. We did the test. I think when you did that, it just blew all of the like debris out of the back sideways. It was just going everywhere.
Nice. The thing here broke controlling the nozzle at the end, but I really don't think that's a problem when you're just working a Land Rover. Just get the nose clean, really. Clean that one.
So we certainly didn't expect to be doing that today with the V890 originally not working, and then this one, and then going out in the water. But I guess you'll get the 90 working at some point, and we can take that out as well, because a lot of you are dying to see that. But I think we fulfilled the 101's true role of being a ship. So there we go. And what's next for it? What else can we do?
I think we could fit the handbrake cable. That would be pretty nice to have a handbrake that works. We can do the vacuum for the central differ locking, so that will work. Differ locking, a new word. And we can take over the brakes and make sure that, so like a propulsion valve that makes sure that when you get loaded up with 1 ton of ammunition, the brakes actually work as that is 1 ton. But when that is just completely shut, it'll just completely lock the rear brakes whenever you touch the pedal. So that'll have to be fixed. But I think that's about that's about it.
And then maybe possibly looking into putting a license plate on it.
Yeah.
A real license plate, not a real old English one.
No.
And getting it on the road, that would be so cool.
Really
I mean,
cool.
is there more cost to it than just fixing things? I mean,
I don't think so. Maybe just small parts, but nothing major.
So maybe we can look into that. But now that Nisse is back, we'll be back with more regular uploads and more varied content other than just my Defender over there. So hopefully we'll get up to lots this summer as well. I mean, for a start, your disco is broken. So
yeah,
that might be something to address. And then we'll go from there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.